When you wish upon a shard, hoping that it's just a fart. That's basically what Disney has become nowadays. It is a complete sham from what Walt Disney himself wanted in the first place. And they have lost not only the respect of the customers, but generations and generations of customers. And they're not bringing in anybody new. Who can we thank for that? Um, well, look who's in charge, and look who is going to be the star of the next one that's coming out in like 10 days. Yes, we have to go. We have to talk about Zeggy Peggy, Zegler again. And you know what? Basically, Disney has had enough. And it's funny that we say that because we never thought that they would actually back down from all the bull crap that they say all the time, the DEI nonsense, the constantly trying to do inclusivity stuff in the name of inclusivity only, but not inclusive of people with talent. Yes, Zeggy Peggy is back, but she's behind the scenes. She's just singing like overseas somewhere. And as she's overseas singing, and Gal Gadot herself is over here in the States doing all the press tours for that, going on late night TV shows, Disney is scaling back the Snow White US premiere, which, like I said, is happening on the 21st in 10 days. They're scaling it back, so they're not even having a red carpet media interview, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing for them. It's a good thing for us because now we can just sit back and laugh because yes, she tanked whatever goodwill this movie had. Also, all the leaks throughout the last year. I mean, changing how she got her name, why she is called Snow White, the whole thing with Free Palestine versus. I mean, I think everyone pretty much knows that Gal Gadot used to be in the Israeli army. It's just not a good look. So, with just days to go before the release of its live action Snow White remake, Disney is drastically reducing its usual Hollywood premiere spectacle. Studio is still hosting an event on March 15th at the El Capitan Theater, but it won't include the extensive red carpet and media presence typically associated with a major Disney release. Instead, they'll have people that they've already hired, which is completely fine. I don't think anybody is really going to want to show up to it anyway, because not only are the two lead actresses basically opposed, and there's like an unspoken feud between them, but also hype for this movie basically is non-existent. The only hype that this movie has is the hype to absolutely roast it. Disney has not commented on this shift, but even Variety acknowledges that this decision comes amid ongoing controversy surrounding the film. Yes, controversy in every single way. Is there anything that's good about this film? Not the budget, not all of the reshoots, not the leaked photos of the casting, not the trailers. The only thing good about it is that one little clip where Rachel Zegler is singing a song that actually, if you listen to the lyrics in its entirety, basically explains why she is now called Snow White. It's like, yeah, it's pleasant to the ear, just like most pop music. Okay, not most pop music nowadays, but it's catchy. And that's the only thing that people are like, oh, yeah, she's got a decent, passable voice. Cool. She sounds like a chick. I'm glad that there's not going to be a surprise whenever the skirt is lifted up. Now, in the past, Disney has gone all out for live action remakes with elaborate red carpet events. Yes, they trot everyone out there. But the thing is, Rachel Zegler can't keep her freaking mouth shut. And it's not only on her. As much as it pains me to say that, it is not only on her. It's also the media and the press and the questions that they ask, because they're sitting there with prerogatives to, is this the gayest thing ever? Or they try to bring up some kind of controversy that has nothing to do with the film. And the actors and actresses themselves aren't smart enough or aren't well enough equipped to know how to dodge that stuff. Now, Gal Gadot could. That's why they're still sending her out. She seems like a consummate professional in most ways, except for Imagine. That was absolutely stupid, but she also wasn't promoting a movie whenever she was doing that. Now, like we said, they have Rachel going over there to other countries, like doing a little song and dance, because that's basically all she's good for. Put on a pretty smile, give them a pretty voice, and, we'll script the lyrics for you. If someone wants to talk off the cuff, let's give it to somebody who's been there before. Act like you've been there before. This is a stark contrast to how Disney promotes other high-profile films. It would have been, I can almost guarantee you that it would have been more high profile had she not opened her dadgum mouth. There would at least have, if they had kept a lot of it a mystery, even the places where they were like changing things, they could have at least like ridden it out to maybe $600-700 million. It's not even gonna. It probably is not gonna get half of that, or maybe half, and that's worldwide too, which means the take is even less. They're not going to make their money on this whatsoever because she couldn't keep her mouth shut. Too little, too late. The decision to keep Zegler largely away from the American media suggests the studio is trying to prevent further controversy. The damage has been done. That's like saying don't light a match in a burnt down building. What are you going to burn more up? Oh, there's this one little piece, this one little rafter that's like still standing. You might burn that one because it's not petrified wood yet. Controversies continue to overshadow Snow White. In what way, though? The film has faced intense scrutiny from the start. It's faced intense scrutiny because it is the first animated film, the first like full-length feature film from the Disney company, Walt Disney himself. And the rumors and everything like that has come out and said specifically, now they're changing a lot of things. They're changing the absolute storyline. It's not about who's the prettiest, who's the fairest. It's who's the fairest leader, because whammon power. Many longtime Disney fans expressed frustration over changes to classic Snow White story. I mean, the classic Disney Snow White story, let's not get that one twisted either. The actual classic Snow White story is very bleak, but that's what most of these fairy tales started out from the beginning anyway. But particularly the decision to replace the Seven Dwarfs with a mixed group of characters, I still don't know if those were just stand-ins or if that's what they were going for, and they just got absolutely so ridiculed that they changed. It's like, we got to do reshoots. We got to make them all dwarfs now. Peter Dinklage, yeah, he pulled the ladder up behind him as he waddled up. He criticized the original portrayal of little people. They're not little people. They're dwarves. They're magical beings. Oh, my goodness. Leading Disney to overhaul that aspect of the movie, which only fueled further debate. And when fans pushed back on the 7 diverse individuals, to put it lightly, and to not make too many jokes, they replaced them with 7 CGI characters that have been a subject of fan ridicule. Everything about this from start to finish, even the reshoots, even the reanimations of it, have been ridiculed from start to finish. I said this in the very first video that I did on another channel. Why is her foot coming out of nowhere in this image? This is what they released as promotional material. Not only does everything look god awful, but that foot comes out of nowhere. Goodness gracious. There's not much more to say on this. I know I end up going way longer than I should because it really kind of pisses me off. The Disney Renaissance era is my favorite era, basically, of all film, not including Lord of the Rings. The Peter Jackson trilogy is by far the best film series of all time. But that was my entire childhood. And going into adulthood, those movies still hold up on every aspect, not only the animation, not only the acting, not only the scripts, not only the stories that they told, not only the music, just an all-encompassing experience. This is what Disney has become nowadays. It's just become this hodgepodge of complete and utter bullshit, shoving it down your throats. Hey, remember what you used to like? You remember what used to have imagination behind it? Well, guess what? We're taking that, we're flipping it on its head, and we're going to force feed it down your throat. All right, I guess we're making foie gras from humans now, just force feeding it down the duck's throat. It's a goose, but you get what I'm saying. This is Malty from Mouth of Malty. If you guys have anything to say, roast it in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Y'all have a great day and take care. Bye-bye.